Most people think they're lazy. They say it quietly to themselves. I should be doing more. I'm wasting my potential. I don't know what's wrong with me. But what if laziness isn't the real problem? What if the reason you can't start is because you've already tried before? And it didn't work. Not everyone who stops is lazy. Some people are just tired of failing in silence. There's a kind of exhaustion people don't talk about. Not the kind that comes from working too hard, but the kind that comes from hoping too many times. You tried once. You believed in yourself. You imagined a better life. And then, it didn't happen. So you tried again, and again, until one day your mind learned something dangerous. It learned that trying hurts. From that moment on, your brain stopped protecting your dreams and started protecting you from disappointment. That's when fear disguised itself as laziness. Your brain isn't weak. It's not broken. It's doing its job. Every failure you experienced was recorded. Every embarrassment. Every promise you couldn't keep. So now, when you think about starting again, your brain whispers, what if it fails again? What if you look stupid? What if you disappoint yourself again? So instead of moving forward, you freeze. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much. Society calls this laziness, but that label is cruel. Lazy people don't feel guilt. They don't feel shame. They don't lie awake at night thinking about what they could have been. If you feel heavy every time you rest, if you judge yourself even on your worst days, you're not lazy. You're scared of trusting yourself again. And that fear didn't come from nowhere. It was learned. Here's the truth no one tells you. You don't need more motivation. You need safety. Safety to try without pressure. Safety to fail without self-hate. Safety to take one step without demanding results. Healing doesn't start with action. It starts with permission. Permission to move slowly. Permission to be human. Permission to begin again, gently. One day, you'll realize this. You were never lazy. You were protecting a heart that had been hurt too many times. And when you stop fighting yourself, you'll find the strength you thought you lost. Not loud, not dramatic, but quietly, in your own time. If this felt like you, you're not alone. Stay till the end, because this story is going to teach you a lesson. So don't skip it. There was a time he tried. A time when starting felt exciting. Back then, he believed effort was enough. That if he gave his best, life would meet him halfway. He remembers staying up late, planning, dreaming, imagining a future version of himself who had made it. He remembers telling himself, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. And for a while, it felt true. Then came the silence, the unanswered messages, the missed opportunities, the plans that slowly fell apart. No dramatic collapse, just a quiet realization that it didn't work. He told himself it was okay, that failure was normal. So he tried again and again, each time with less excitement and more fear. Until one day, trying stopped feeling brave. It started feeling dangerous. The worst part wasn't failing. It was the moment he stopped trusting his own words. I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow came, and nothing happened. Not because he didn't want to, but because something inside him refused to move. He started avoiding his own thoughts, avoiding reminders of what he once wanted, avoiding people who still believed, because belief now felt painful. Every unfinished goal sat quietly in his chest, every promise he made to himself that he couldn't keep. and slowly, his mind learned something. Trying leads to disappointment. Hope leads to pain. So it did what minds are meant to do. It protected him by shutting things down. From the outside, it looked like laziness. He slept longer, moved slower, delayed everything. People didn't understand. They said, "You have so much potential. You're wasting your time. You're just lazy." He nodded, not because he agreed, but because explaining felt exhausting. What they didn't see was the fear beneath the stillness, the fear of trying again and proving every doubt right, the fear of putting his heart into something, only to watch it break again. So he stayed still, not because he didn't care, but because caring had hurt him be heavy, ashamed, tired of disappointing himself, tired of explaining why he was still here, tired of pretending he was okay. Sometimes he wondered, what if this is just who I am now? And that thought scared him more than failure ever did. Change didn't come loudly. There was no sudden motivation, no dramatic breakthrough, just a quiet moment, a realization that he wasn't broken, he was bruised, that stopping didn't mean quitting, it meant surviving, that his stillness wasn't weakness, it was protection. And for the first time, he didn't hate himself for it. He didn't rush to fix everything. He didn't promise big changes. He just allowed himself to breathe, to exist without punishment, to be human without judgment. One day, he stood in front of the mirror again. Same room, same reflection. But this time, he didn't look away. He didn't call himself lazy. He didn't demand answers. He simply stood there and understood something gently. He was never afraid of effort. He was afraid of pain. And that fear made sense, because he had already tried, and it mattered. And slowly, without pressure, without noise, he began again. Not because he was ready, but because he was kinder to himself. And that was enough. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone, and you were never lazy.